Hey guys, hey, it's the Weight Limb Therapist. I just want to make a video for you. I know I've been away from the channel, I've been away from making videos. I know I've been busy, but I haven't been so busy that I can't put out a video for you guys. I was just debating whether or not to come back and actually make videos for you. So, keep it in line with the topic of mental health, just discussions that I try to have on this channel and just sharing my experiences as a therapist. I just want to share some stuff that I've been struggling with myself. You know, I think the phrase that doctors make the worst patients, I think it applies to therapists make the worst clients as well. You know, every single person, regardless of who you are, or what you do, or what you know, mental health and issues of the world that we face will affect everyone in some regard, and how you deal with that, and what support systems you have in place, and who you reach out to. That's going to be, you know, different for each person. So myself, recently I've been dealing with something that I thought I had really resolved. As you can see by the topic of the video, survivors of suicide, dealing with grief and loss and processing that. And it's been a real trip for me as my own kid gets a little bit older. My own father's suicide has been impacting me a lot more. And honestly, guys, it's not something I talk about with anybody. I keep this really bottled up, and I try to use my coping skills and my just things that I do in my life to deal with it. But recently, it's been a real struggle. I've had lots of these waves of grief that have come back. Now as I'm raising my own son, thinking about my father's suicide has really impacted me, and it's been weighing really heavily on my mind. So, you know, I just want to put this video out there for anyone that's a survivor of suicide. You know, the rates, I don't need to go into the specific statistics, but you know, suicide, for every suicide there's at least 6 to 7 people that are struggling with a devastating loss. And so it impacts so many people. And just for you guys, don't isolate yourself, don't hold it all in, don't bottle it up like I am. Reach out. There's support groups, there's people that will be an ear for you. Everyone's been impacted by death in some fashion. If they can't totally understand where you're coming from, they can just be a shoulder that you can lean on. You know, for myself, I finally got to a point where it's like, hey, I can't keep doing this on my own. I've got to reach out. I've got to, you know, do something about it. I didn't think, you know, I like I said earlier, I thought I had this all put behind me and dealt with. This happened going on almost a decade now. This is 9 years ago that he completed suicide. And it's only been recently that it's started to impact me more. So, you know, I'm a younger guy, so maybe I just didn't understand how grief worked at the time, or even understand it now. I'm not afraid to say you know, I'm still learning and growing just like you guys are. And especially if you're a survivor of somebody who's died by suicide, you probably have a better understanding and idea of kind of how that feels, and the permanency of death. You really get a feeling of what that is. So, you know, I've looked out to support groups in my area, and I'm probably going to start going to one here in the next week or so. And you know, it feels weird. It feels really strange for me. I'm usually the person that people talk to about this. You know, I work with lots of kids, and even recently, one of the kids that came through the hospital, his father died by suicide a year ago. And honestly, just working with him and trying to be you know, I maintain a professional therapeutic boundary. But I realized that just talking about it and listening to him share his feelings, like, hey, I realized that I'm not all right. This is impacting me a lot. This is some heavy stuff right now, and I need to take a step back, and I need to get myself addressed. And it's pretty humbling. And I was totally against seeing or talking to another therapist or a counselor or going to a group. But now I'm sitting on the other side. I've got to put myself first. And it's taken me a bit to swallow my pride and to actually do that. So if I can do that, guys, I promise you can. You know, I can be a very prideful person. I can think that I am a lot stronger and know a lot more than I actually do. And you know, another aspect of me is my faith. You know, honestly, just asking God and Jesus for help and for wisdom for me, and humbling myself to go get the help that I need, that I've been putting off getting. It's been a pretty big fall for me. You know, I've taken some time off work, and I've worked a lot less hours, and haven't really told anybody why, but it's just something that I'm taking time to just put myself first. So if I can do it, guys, you can do it. I know I'm kind of rambling on in the video. You know, I haven't made ones in a really long time. I'm up here actually at a place that's, you know, I live in Idaho, so I drove up in the mountains a little bit, and I'm just on top of a ledge. I'll put some shots in there, and just overlooking a actually really picturesque valley, just to get some alone time to pray and to think and to process. And you know, sometimes answers don't come super quickly, and they don't show up, and you don't exactly know how you're going to deal with this or what you're going to do. You know, part of it's trying to figure out what I want to do career-wise going forward. Now, sometimes those answers don't come very fast, and there's no easy answer to these things that we struggle with. But I think just pressing on daily, even if that day is sloppy, even if it's a mess, even if you're a mess, but taking time off when you need to, seeking help when you need to. Try to do it early, don't put it off like I do. Taking a little bit of time to step back and reevaluate, get somewhere that's quiet, and whatever it is, you know, for me it's my faith, and to meditate and to be alone and to process. You know, for you, if whatever faith you believe in or don't believe in, I don't care. Whether it's talking to someone, go speak with a grandparent, whatever it may be, a friend. Take that time to step back and evaluate what you need to do. Being a survivor is not something that's easy. It's not something there's just a 1, 2, 3 steps to get through it. You know, even some of my earlier videos I put up, and maybe, you know, here's the 3 things that you can do to deal with a loss or grief, and yeah, those things are good, but even now I'm seeing that's a much more complicated picture than something that's a simple step process. So anyhow, guys, I'll put some links in the bottom for some resources in the description. You know, if you're struggling with something or you need to talk, you can always message me. I know some people will message me privately. I'm going to put it in the comments. Obviously, there's not a whole lot of views yet, but if you need someone to talk to you, I'm here, I'm an ear, or I can direct you in the right way to maybe some resources in your area, just by Google. So anyhow, guys, thank you for being patient. Again, I'll put some shots of the area that I'm overlooking right now. I'll put some shots up there, and hope to see you guys soon. Bye.